Well, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and you join me this afternoon in the workshop here, and a big thank you for everyone who's been subscribing and clearly enjoying the variation, I should say, of what I put on my channel. The last video I did was the one about that little radiogram, and then after that I did one about the Oh So Retro, which everyone seems to enjoy. It's interesting actually, the stats, because more people were interested in looking at the Panasonic, that was the one before, about three videos back. That gained more interest than the Oh So Retro, funny enough. So it'd be nice to know what you think about my channel actually overall, but I mean, it's not all about the numbers of people, but I just enjoy doing this sort of stuff, so I thought to mention that. Also a big shout out to Paul Reeves as well, from Gramophone Revolution, I think that's how you pronounce it, Paul, for the mention of the little radiogram, the cheapo radiogram that actually sounded quite good with 78s. Just to let you all know that that actually went to a member of my volunteer team at the hospice shop in King Street, Maidstone, which I've now closed because we're going to move shortly, but they haven't sorted the lease out, so I'm helping out at another shop, which I'll talk to you about a little later. Just to say that went to a good home. I totally endorse what you say on the comments, and thank you for commenting, and thank you everybody else for commenting. Neil also commented about that, and to say that it actually sounded quite good with 78s. I mean, I did mention to Roger, who purchased it for his granddaughter, that there's it's off the scale in terms of 6.5 grams of downward pressure. I wouldn't play you a good vinyl on that, but your 78, he said actually she just liked the look of it, so she's going to play her CDs on it, which would probably be fine. I did test that side of it, yeah, it's good. So yeah, but today I've got an exciting couple of things to talk to you about. It's a cool 14 degrees today, so we're heading towards the autumn here in the UK, and but I thought I'd mention a couple of things. So a couple of things I picked up, and then I'm going to do something else as well, back in the or in the acoustic world, as I call it, my acoustic world, and I've got some records to show you. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, or just skip to the bit that you might be interested in. But until further ado, let me just get the camera and turn things round, as we say. Here we go. So yes, okay. So this is a Sanyo machine that I picked up recently. It has got issues, haven't they all? And as you can see, I've already started to do some investigation stuff here. The cassette deck works sort of. Sanyo in there, which my understanding from Sanyo is that it's a cheaper version than Sony, as a sort of in terms of branding. This one's sort of music center, and I rather fancied it, but it has issues, and that's why I've got it. It's a stereo record player. I love the way they make a big emphasis on that, and also let me just put that down there. So it's a radio which lights up. There's good green lights go on there. In fact, I might do that. Let me just plug it in. It is partly disconnected, so I won't. If I switch this on, you'll see. There we go. You get this lovely. I just love the green scale on that. These are. I haven't actually tested it out with any speakers yet to know what it sounds like. It's got a VU meter here, and then obviously all the balance, volume, is that bass, treble and bass, yes, okay, so there we go. It's got an interesting record deck which is actually got its legs in the air at the moment. The thing about it is that it doesn't work, the motor doesn't turn. So I diagnosed two things here. Either there's a problem with the micro switch, which is here, and I'm going to bypass that and see where the motor, but also the motor's quite tight, you know, the big centre bit's quite tight, so I think it might need a bit of bearings in there, so I might have to do some work on that. But interestingly enough, to undo this machine, it was the complete reverse of what I expected. So it will be a project, and I will explain when I get to the project, because it took me quite a while to work out how to get this motor board off this here, and I had the bottom out, the side out. I mean, how you get into the cassette deck I don't know, because I had the bottom out, and you can't get to it. It just, whoever they put it in there, they all clearly put it in there, so it's not meant to be fiddled with. But I think somebody's already been in here somehow, because there's just some of the ties were all, the cable ties were all loose, and it just looks like someone's had a fiddle before I got a hold of it. So, but anyway, that's another project that's coming. So yes, so I'm going to clear the deck, and then I'm going to come back to you. So hold fire. So this is not what you expected, I suppose. You're looking at a Thomas the Tank Engine toy, and this one came into the shop, but he's not working. So I said I'll take him home and see what I can do, because what I discovered was that the contact here, you might be able to see that down here, has broken off, and in fact it was sitting inside one of the wheels. It literally had come out the side. I think it might still be there. He's gonna yeah, okay, so what I did, I actually jump leaded him, and he does actually work. He actually chuffs across the floor, and he does something extra. He actually will actually blow bubbles through here, though I think there's something, I don't know whether there's something missing there, but it's a very clever system, because it's sort of the thing, you fill this up with soapy water, I've discovered, and then what he does, he actually, the air comes out of here with a pump, and then the little thing comes across the top of this and it blows bubbles, which is quite nice, and he makes a chuff chuff sound, which is quite good. So I thought, well, it'd be quite nice for a little kiddie, so I'll take him home, see what I can fix him, and then he can be sold, you know, like we normally do. And since I've been working at the other shop in Aylesford, we've had a couple of things, the smaller size to this, not doing quite the same, but we've sold a couple of smaller ones so the children know they've been donated. Unfortunately, I took all the screws out, and then what happened is I realised that the screw that was most important were the ones that were behind the wheels, which are, I think, behind this wheel, I think it is. Let me just see. There was a wheel, and I can't get to it. You just can't get to it because they're obviously put on first, or out the end, once the whole thing has been set up. So I couldn't. Was it this one? One of them I discovered there's a screw that, there we are, that one there. There's no way you can get in there with a screwdriver. So those two, which hold the top of the chassis on, were the two that have foxed me now. And I think it's probably not meant to be repaired, but you might, if you know a way of getting into Thomas, then I'd be happy, because I'm not getting rid of him. He's going to sit on the shelf and just be a shelf Mary, because I think he's rather cute, don't you? So yeah, so that was like a little aside today. So yeah, I just thought I'd talk to you about that. So but yeah, another little strange one that's come in and just blocking up my workshop. I mean, I've got quite a few projects that I've got to get into, but I've been so busy with work, with my two jobs, that been doing a load of conference speaking and other stuff with other companies on this sort of clinical advisory stuff, that I haven't really got a chance to be in here. So this is the first day. It's only today I'm in here, because the meeting I was going to have at 2 o'clock has been put back to 4. So as it's only 10 to 2, I thought I'd take the opportunity to talk to you all and show you a few things. So I've got some more things coming, so just stay tuned. So right, so I've these two sets of the Tudors, the complete first season and the complete second season, came into the shop about a month ago, I suppose, perhaps a bit, yeah. And I remember the original one. Would you believe if it was 2007 when these two seasons, or there was 4 seasons altogether, because I've got the other 2, were actually released on the BBC, and I was hooked on it then. I've since been hooked on the whole lot again, and I've been watching that over the last few weeks, you know, that have been going on, days have been going on. So the good thing is that you can buy the whole lot, the whole 4 seasons. I got the whole 4 seasons on eBay, because obviously I'd watched season 1 and 2 with Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, Sam Neill, Peter O'Toole, you know, and all the cast. And And I got the whole lot for £8, just under, with the postage. So you can actually get them. But I just wondered what your view on was the Tudors were, and whether you enjoyed it as much as I'm enjoying the second time round. These two are on offer. Does anybody like to have these? I've watched them all. The DVDs are in perfect condition. The box is a little bit tatty here, but that doesn't really matter. And all the stuff inside the cases is still there. So if anyone would like to have these, I will send them to you as long as you pay the postage. And if you make a donation to the Heart of Kent Hospice, it will be even better, because I bought these from the hospice, which is fine, and I'm happy to give them back to them for nothing, but I thought perhaps somebody else on my channel might actually like them. So that's the offer. That's the freebie giveaway today. The second freebie giveaway is this album, Music from the Palm Court. This is with Max Jaffa. Now, I picked this up last week, and I thought that I'd actually got a copy of number 1. This is number 2. And it's a really nice copy, but there is a slight stick on one of the tracks on side 1. But if anyone likes Max Jaffa, and also Jack Bayfield and Reginald Kilby on cello, it's a really lovely album. It's on 10-inch LP 33. Then I'd be happy to send that to you as well. I've repaired the case. It was a bit torn, like all these poor old 10 inches. They get stuck amongst the 12 inches, and then somebody shoves another LP in the side and it tears the case. So there we go, all the line notes on there. Roses from the South, Melodies of Britain, Janine with the light brown hair, Fascination, I Love the Moon, Softly Awakes the Heart, Grand March, and Desert Song, Violin Song from Tina, Gypsy Carnival, Serenade, The Lost Chord, and Roses from the South on there as well. Okay, so that's obviously just part of a serenade piece that's there, so it's those two tunes, so I'm getting it wrong there. And a little bit about each of the players there includes Max as well. So if you'd like to have that, you can have that. Make sure that you get back to me before the end of October 2021. Otherwise, I should just give them back to the charity shop for somebody else to purchase there. So yeah, okay. So that's my little plug about giveaways. Let's just have a cup of tea. There's a cup of tea here, look. So, recent finds. Okay, this one's very nice. This one is on Eclipse, came with its original case, and it is the old violin there, and on the B side it is Play Those Old Time Melodies. And so Ray Noble must have been involved in this, because the writer is Noble and Hansen, and Yvonne Arnold as well. That's quite nice. That's a nice side. That really has. I played that on, so it's really nice. I haven't played the rest of these, by the way. This is Evening Song. This is by a German. It's in German, and it's by the Oberskinden Children's Choir, sung in German, and it says copyright control on the parlophone. And the B-side is The Happy Wanderer. This is a probably 50s, I would have thought, when this one came out. So quite a modern incarnation on a parlophone. Right, on the Oracle label, Freight Train by Chaz McDivitt and Skiffle Group. I don't know what any of these lots sound like, because I've only just really picked them up. But 1957 incarnation, so quite a modern for 78s, or the run out of 78 format. And on the B side, it's The Cotton Song, so again by the same people. The Harry Lime theme. I've had several incarnations of the Harry Lime theme in my time. This one probably is no different from the other, from the Third Man, of course. The one I used to have actually had a crack in the record, so always in my mind's eye, in my brain, I've got this idea of the Harry Lime theme clicking round on the gramophone, because that's the one I had. But I've now got some better copies. This is a really nice copy. This has obviously been looked after. It didn't come with a case though. I've got to give it a case. And the Cafe Mozart Waltz, again from the same film. Okay, very nice. So there we go. This one is in this. Oh, that goes with that. I'll just put that in there. So let's so it's a parlophone. Right, we've got here I Never Knew. Paul Whiteman. I like Paul Whiteman as well. Paul Whiteman, get out of the way, fly. And this is on the HMV and early HMV, and his Ambassador Orchestra. and the other side is Do You Ever Think About Me? So melody, quite nice. So I don't know what that sounds like either. We'll have a play some of these this afternoon maybe. Where have we got here? Open the Door, Richard. Well, that's made for me, that one. Is it on the Brunswick? And that's by Lewis Jordan and his Tiffany 5. And the B-side is Ain't Nobody... what's that say? Ain't Nobody Here But Us. Okay, Chickens. Okay, I think that might be a comedy somehow, but I'm sure that's going to be on Brunswick. And this one is on the Panacord. She was Only Somebody's Daughter Part 1, and Poor Little Orphan Child by the Western Brother, and Arthur Lally and his orchestra. There we go. And Roldolph Sutton there, vocal chorus. And the B-side to that, so I'll play some of these. The B-side to this one is, again, part 2, so it might be a comedy record, that one. Somebody obviously like comedy when I pick these up. Charlie Kurtz, yes, Charlie, I know. Now, just to let you know, I picked up a really good CD of Charlie Kurtz, and somebody I work with in the shop, one of our volunteers, never heard of him, and yet he is of the age group that probably would have been around when Charlie Kurtz, he's a lot older than me, and that's saying something, and but he didn't, so I lent in the CD and I put it actually onto my iTunes. There we go. Charlie Kurtz, so that's Charlie Kurtz Piano Melody number 1, and Charlie Kurtz, the same thing, Piano Melody number 1. So obviously there were several of these. This one's label's a bit faded actually. Sandy's Happy Home. Now Sandy Powell, Sandy Powell Flies the Atlantic is the one I've got, the record I've got. I had since I was about 11. I used to love listening to that, and this one is with Dolly Hammer and Company. So I don't know what this one's going to sound like, but normally he's quite... Sandy Powell was obviously a comedy artist of the time, and it says humorous sketch on there, and that's part 1 and part 2, so I'm looking forward to listening to that. And Red Sails in the Sunset, quite a famous number really, and I'll Never Say Never, that's Larry Older and his mouth organ, and Fred Hartley's orchestra there. That should be interesting. And then again a Hungarian Dance number 5, again with the mouth organ, so I'm looking forward to that. And then Rose of Italy, Primo Scala accordion band. Now I've got an LP of Primo Scala. I really like his music, so it's nice to have him on the Rex label there. And the other side is I Grow Too Old to Dream. So there we go. So that's that one. And then this one on HMV, I'll Build a Stairway to Paradise, Paul Whiteman, his orchestra. And the B-side is Blowing Bubbles. Okay, that's actually West Ham's song. I've been to West Ham on a corporate day, and we all had to sing Bubbles. So I'm sure that's the same version though. But there we go. So that's all the records I picked up in the last few weeks, and just thought I'd share those with you, and the rest of it. So as I say, if anyone wants a copy of the Tudors part 1 and 2, or the Max Jaffa record, then let me know in the comments box below, and I'll pay the postage and I'll get it in the post to you. So go. Right, okay, stay tuned for more fun to come. So you're looking at what looks like to be a HMV 101 gramophone, case gramophone. This machine came into the shop on, was it Friday or Saturday, one of the two, with a load of records and other stuff which we have since sold. And I was intrigued by this. I heard they said they were going to bring a gramophone in, this particular gentleman, so I said I'd be happy to do a video about it, and since then I've sort of fallen in love with it. Do I need another case gramophone? Not really, but I think this is in such good condition that, and I'll show you the features of this in a short while. We'll do a walk around, but before then I just thought perhaps I could play something on here. And also what I was going to do this afternoon was get my 101, the daddy of all my machines, the one I've had since I was a lad, about 11 or 12, in fact before then I think it was, that I've repaired about 3 times, refurbished about 3 times. I might put some pictures up of when it was first done, way back, and so this one's looks really nice. It's been well looked after. In fact, it's been repaired by a company based in Maidstone that no longer exists, called AEA Audio Visual Limited, and 8-star, the Star Arcade Maidstone, and there was a deposit paid on the job, which job number is 100112, to be confirmed, but they left a deposit of £20 then. That was back in September the 11th 2014, so some time ago now, but not that long ago. I don't know how much they pay at the end, and so it says here, comments or special instructions: stop working, does not wind up anymore. So clearly they must have put a new spring in here. When I opened it, and which is always interesting, the spring, there was some windings on it. The turntable did go round. So what I thought we could do is I'll just play. The sound box needs a new gasket. Here's the copy of the invoice, which actually hasn't got the amount at the bottom. So it's got a bit of provenance with it. There was nothing else came with it. The make is Languphone, or Languphone, LINGUAPHONE. I've never heard of this make. I've looked it up on eBay. I cannot find anything about it on the internet whatsoever. Obviously Languphone, the company that produces those, used to produce records so you could learn the language. I don't think there's a connection. If you know, and there's a lot of people out there do actually follow me that do collect this as sort of thing as well, let me know, because I'd be interested to know, just to my own benefit. But I thought perhaps before then we'll play a record and see what you can hear, how bad it is, and then what I'll do is I'll put another sound box on there, probably from my other machine, and then you'll see how it sounds. It has a really nice tone, so clearly it must have a large cylindrical horn like the 101. But I thought we'd play those old time melodies again by Ray Noble and Yvonne Arnold on here. It actually has got a needle in there, and it's actually got a Songster. This is a Songster sound box, and it's those beautiful sun rays on there. A lot of the chromiums come off there of this one here. Quite a simple aluminium diaphragm. So yeah. And clearly being looked after, very well looked after. The case is in immaculate condition, very well polished, and as I say, I am considering spending some money, and because I know what the hospice would like for it, so, and then it could come and join my selection out here. So we'll give it a wind. I think it's a single spring, probably a Garrod motor in here, like most of them are. Interesting that there's quite a bit of winding left here, coming out the side here, and I thought I'd measure it compared with the HMV. So it's had a recent spring. It's probably all right. Makes a few clunky sounds when it's running down. There we go. Right, so here we go. As you can hear, we need a new gasket on there. So and that's the response I got when I played it in the back room. So yes, So yeah, so I'll let that. What we'll do is we'll get clearly this has been cared for, and so we'll do a bit of a walk round. I'll take the record off, and I probably suspect, as I say, it's based on a 101. There were quite a few gramophones of this type manufactured about this time, but it's a good quality one. There's no, I can tell there's no cheapness in this. Got a nice needle box in the side here, but we'll have a look round. So I'm going to stop the camera and then come back to you. So welcome back. So as I say, it's got a Songster sound box which needs a new gasket in there. I can see the type of gasket being used, so I can probably, I've got some of those spare, I can change that and that will help us. It's got a 12-inch turntable with this very nice blue velvet as well. Manual brake, and that's working well. The winding handles here on the side. The if I just put that, is it this? There we go. The horn is internal horn this way. Quite easy to close up. You just literally don't have to. The mechanism is quite good there. And then you can see on here, it's really shiny. Okay, there's a few marks here, age marks. I actually wondered whether somebody had varnished this at some stage, because it's quite shiny, but I may be wrong. Maybe wrong. I don't think so. Even the strap handle here is okay. The catch here is quite interesting. When some of them have a little catch you have to push up and then pull down. This one automatically engages, says he. Oh, well, it did this morning when I had it. There we go. Okay, and then if I turn it on the side, there we go. There we are. Very similar to a 101, even with the where the Rexon is embossed here. The rubber feet have really perished. They've completely perished altogether. It has a needle box very similar to a 101, but then other machines do. Decca used to follow this, and they've all done the same. So completely full box of gramophone needles here. Yeah, so I mean, all the way around, it is in pristine condition, really. Okay, the winding handle could do with a paint, because they often get left out like this rather than. But it was internally put away, so the handle itself lives in here, like so, like that, and then the arm fits over that bit. There's a place to put your needle box in there, and of course where your records would go. There is I noticed up here there is a piece I think missing, because you can't see that, but it looks like there was something else in the top here, but otherwise it's there. About the same weight as a 101, so about the same weight. But I'll go and get the 101, and then I'll bring it out and we can do a comparison side by side. So you're looking at the HMV 101. This is what I call the daddy of all my gramophones, because this is the one I had when I was a lad, and I've refurbished it a few times. The sound box has had a new diaphragm fitted, new gaskets, the rest of it. So apart from a few rumbles in the jungles that I still get from the spring box occasionally, and you may hear that this afternoon. I mean, the machine is quite old, so you would expect that for an antique, but it plays absolutely immaculately, and the sound quality is really good. For the other machine, just for the test, I've put a number 4 box on there, one of which I refurbished a while ago, and so we'll do a sound comparison with the two machines, and you can let me know. This is actually slowing up a bit now, I think, because the oil's probably been stored away. It's been mucking around a little bit, so it may go slow and then speed up again. So I need to do a service on that machine. But the first one I'm going to play. We'll play 2 different records, because you won't want to hear the same one twice, because it's the sound. Red Sails in the Sunset by Larry Alder, and it's also virtuoso on the mouth organ with Fred Hartley's orchestra. It's a really nice copy. As you can see, it's really shiny. and the B side is the Hungarian Dance Number 5. So we could try that one out. That's a really good copy. So on the Rex label. So the King of Records, the Rex. So let's, without further ado, this has got an auto brake on this machine, and then we'll do some comparison with the sizes, because they are slightly different sizes but almost the same. So enjoy. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that like I did, and obviously there's no return on the runouts, so of course it won't turn off, but this has an auto brake, this machine, and it's really nice on that. So yeah, so I have done a comparison. So the 101 is just over 11¼ inches in width, and is just, I don't really measure these before, to be honest, 16 inches lengthwise, and depth-wise it's 4 inches. And the other machine, the Languphone, is similar, actually, very similar in its looking. So it is 12 inches wide by, let's just do this, 16½ inches. So there's not much in it really, and the depth is, my famous tape measure, is 4 inches. So it's not much, and the angle at which the lid throws the sound out, you know, is what, they're about the same actually. They come out about the same. So I think, yeah, so we'll see that. So I'm going to have to change the battery in the GoPro, Mr. GoPro here, but I'll be back and then we'll do a comparison with the Languphone machine. Alright, so stay tuned. It makes me laugh how the best way plans of mice and men never quite go right. I've changed the battery, and this one's only showing no bars on it either. So yes, I think I might have to change the battery again, so hang on. Right, okay, let's see whether we got enough juice anyway. So I'm going to wind this machine up. So I'm going to play, this is some Hungarian dance number 5 by Larry Alder. Again, mouth organ, a very nice number this. And this is using the Languphone. And I'm going to wind this up. This does need a service, this machine. It was going a bit slow when I tested it on this side. Sounds like I'm going to buy it, doesn't it, at this rate? Resistor. I've got too many projects on, really. This is quite a stiff wind as well. Okay, let's go. Let's see what we get here. I'm using a, as I say, a number 4 sound box. So yeah. So let's just check. There we go. Yeah, number 4 sound box. Just checking there. Enjoy. Right to the end there without it slowing up. That's not bad going. Okay, you can never tell sometimes. Okay, so yeah, in terms of sound difference, I mean, I use the same sound box, the same needle, which is a soft tone needle. The speed's the same. So I'd be interested to know what you think, actually. I think the 101 had a slightly wider sound, but that might be just me. The sound box on this one I repaired some years ago. It's got new gasket, new diaphragm, micro diaphragm, so it should be the same. Anyway, let me know what you think, and see you on the next one. Comments, like, pass on to your friends. Let me know. I'd really like to hear your comments, and see you soon. Bye for now.